language here. The mask mandate is not my mandate. It was charged by the general manager that has it in all public buildings wear masks. So I'm just, as the leader of the meeting, and chair in charge of the meeting, that I have to follow rules in the building. Again, it's not my mandate, and people are allowed to have their opinion, and yes, they're allowed not to wear it in the public, and we don't have a mask mandate, but I just want to be clear that this is not my mandate. I just follow the rules of the building, which the public has been doing, coming and doing our business, and which every staff member in town does when they go to work here. So, seeing that, Mr. Colin McNamara. Thank you, Mr. Colin.
Mr. Chair, may I just make one additional point? Our rules generally provide that members of the public follow the same rules of decorum. So while I think the opposition to wearing masks, the point is well taken and well articulated and received by everyone, I think there's a line between sort of characterizing people's motives and their actions and saying, board member is selfish or X, Y, or Z, right? So we often give a lot of liberty to our public speakers, but I would just remind that, there is a level of decorum that we expect of the public when they participate in public comment as well.
Thank you, Mr. Colin McNamara.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Hold on. Yes, we can. Hold on, Mr. McNamara. Just want to make sure.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Before I begin, I just want to say congratulations to Joe Camposio. Great guy, great service to the town, stellar. His wife was my third grade teacher, and she was fantastic. She's a hard act to follow, I'm sure. And as they say, behind every great man is a good woman. Or a better woman, actually. Hey, Colin McNamara, 47 Grandview Street. We got a lot to cover, so we'll be quick. How much time do we got? 3 minutes? 4, 5?
4:34.
All right. So Martin Luther King, Black History Month. One has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. We're going to move on to Voltaire, a French philosopher. Those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. I attended the board of directors meeting last month. Sat by myself in the back of the room. Nobody was around me. I'm not going to wear a mask and breathe in my own exhaust when you sit 75 feet away, Mayor Moran. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the truth. Someone's got to say it. I'm glad you had nothing to do with it. We got in contact with the JI because they think that you want the mask mandate to be in place. It says right here that you want to move the meetings to virtual, so there's obviously some cross wires with the journalists and you. I thought it was really flattering that you mentioned my name without saying a word to me in person, a word. And I thought it was also great that Mr. Stefano came over and fist bumped me without saying a word to me about any masks. I like to act like a man, so let's act like men and talk to each other. I'm also curious that Judge Catlett told everybody they should wear a mask at the massage parlors for their protection. I'm not sure if he knows what goes on inside the massage parlors, but usually not a mask you need to wear for your protection. Hey, you aren't feeling safe around unmasked people, but I'm not feeling safe when I read this kind of news from Rasmussen poll. 58% of Democrats would favor government policy requiring citizens to remain confined in their homes at all times unless they've been vaccinated. That doesn't sound very neighborly to me. But you got to follow the CDC guidelines and not touch your mask. You have to be very disciplined, and it takes a lot of self-control. Self-control that our children do not have, and unfortunately, Mayor Moran does not have either, because you have touched your mask 72 times during the meeting where you castigated people for not wearing masks. I have released a video, with it all slowed down, on my YouTube channel, The Village Crier CT, where you can see every time you touch your mask is dinged. Tim Bergen, 22 times. Peter Kiner's 22, and someone's in there 14. Jacqueline Crespin 2 times. Mayor Moran, 72 times you touched your mask. That mask is filthy, which makes you the mask touching champion. It's not healthy. I don't want you to get sick.
Mr. McNamara, Mr. McNamara, I will cut you off if you just don't even. I don't appreciate the personal comments, so if you could just do comments that are general comments, please.
I hope to stop the timer for that. So,
no, I did not.
Lamont says, I want 30 seconds. Lamont says that COVID positive patients have to be accepted in nursing homes. That doesn't make sense for our elderly people. 2 weeks later, he says in order to visit your sick and dying grandparent, you're going to need to be triple vaccinated. That's not very much like freedom to me. Currently, Peter Kinder's grandma, Ruth Kinder's 100 years old, is in isolation. That's not fair. That's disgusting. She's 100 years old. She deserves her family around her to love her and tell her she's a great person, because she probably is. Hey, some more good news, not good news really, but more accurate news. Fox 61 reports in the state of Connecticut, 50-50 for vax to unvaxxed hospitalization rates now. The numbers are not going to lie as we go forward. We're moving on the agenda. The Main Street Commission to redesign it. That's good. It's the plan. I want to know what's up with the Tong building. How's that going to work out, I wonder? I wonder if they're going to eminent domain that or buy that out for a sweetheart deal. What I am curious about with the deal, it involves a lot of American Rescue Plan funding, which will include strings from the federal government. The federal government tried to pass H.R. 6666, the TRACE Act, testing, reaching, contacting everyone. They're going to put a bunch of smart technology to track and trace you on every street corner, because this is right from the U.S. DOT's Department of Transportation's website. Complete streets. Scroll down, Smart Guard, Smart Growth, all about connectivity and tracking you with cell phone technology. I want to congratulate Moderna for getting full approval. If you go to their SEC filing for their company, it says right here that it's a gene therapy, not a vaccine. It's 76 pages long, I believe. It's mentioned like 30 times, gene therapy. Hey, I didn't know if I was going to use this, but this is unfortunately the death in Connecticut.
Mr. McNamara, you have 10 seconds to wrap up.
You're over at the age of 65. 20,000 children have been aborted, but luckily they're now human beings. And hey, you gotta, the repurposing committee, I'm glad it's making a task force. It sounds militaristic. We can turn these schools into places where people can get not
McNamara, your time is up. Thank you. Thank you, Fred.
Programming center. Hey, thanks. Merry Christmas. Stay safe.
Thank you, Mr. McNamara. And,
hey, I wish you were down
Mr.
here.
McNamara, your time is up. Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you. I guess I'll take another point of personal privilege. I did not mention Mr. McNamara's name to the press. They do good reporting. That being said, let's go on to Henry Pulowski.